Hello, this is my first new video in a while, but I thought I would put in some new ones on some topics that I haven't covered in honor of my subscribers who have started following me on YouTube. And I decided to start my new ones with one of the hottest topics in astronomy research today, which is the study of exoplanets or extrasolar planets. These are the planets that we are now discovering outside our own solar system that are orbiting other stars. We know for sure of over 1,000 at the time that I am recording, which is in February of 2014. And all of these have been discovered in probably the lifetime of most of you who are watching this. The first one was discovered in 1992. So at the time that I was in college and in grad school studying astronomy, this was a very new topic. This is very, very current, up-to-date stuff. We also think there's thousands of more potential ones that may have been discovered, but these are discoveries that haven't been confirmed yet. If you're interested in keeping track of the current discoveries, if you've got a smartphone, you can look for the Exoplanet app, and it will keep you updated on all the current discoveries as well as the characteristics of the planets that we're discovering. Why do we look for them? Well, as I like to say to my classes, the number one answer to that is aliens. Astronomy is the one class where aliens is sometimes the right answer. Obviously, it's one of the greatest goals in astronomy to see if we can ever find life on other worlds other than our own. So obviously the first step in doing that is to find some other worlds, to find planets in other solar systems. And of course, there's also the benefit that we can start comparing our own solar system against other solar systems that are out there. So for instance, if we're interested in studying how planets are formed, we in the past have only had our own solar system to rely on, but now that we're discovering other solar systems, we can test our hypotheses that we've made about how planets form and see if that would apply to other planets as well. And the same thing goes with just looking at the characteristics of planets and what do solar systems look like. Anyway, I should point out that all of the pictures in this video are artist impressions. We certainly do not have any good, clear, close-up pictures of any planets other than the ones in our own solar system. And even for something like Pluto, our pictures are not very good. So thinking about looking at planets around other stars, we're not going to get this kind of detail like what you're seeing in here. These are artist pictures of a few of the planets we've discovered around other stars that might have some similarity to Earth, where they're the sort of same size as Earth, where they might have possible liquid water and things like that. Most of the planets that we've found so far have been around single stars, like our sun. However, it's kind of an interesting fact, especially to those of us who are into science fiction, that we are also finding planets around stars that are in binary systems, where two stars are orbiting each other. And I put this picture on here. Almost everybody will recognize this from the original Star Wars movie. Luke's on his home planet of Tatooine, and when he's feeling all moody like a teenager, he goes out and watches the sunset outside his uncle's farm, and there's two suns setting. And Tatooine is a planet that is supposed to be in a binary star system, where it's orbiting two stars instead of just one. And now that we're finding planets like that for real, there's people who are jokingly calling them Tatooine in honor of Star Wars. We've even possibly found some planets in systems that have more than two stars, which would be a very exciting discovery. The planets that we've discovered, most of them are big planets. This compares just a few planets to the size of Jupiter and Earth, just to give you a sense. Now, obviously, this is only a few. We've found 1,000, but the majority of the ones we've found are very large planets, bigger than Jupiter, which is the largest planet in our solar system. These planets are also probably made of gas. In another video, I'll sort of address how we might know these characteristics of planets. So these things look like Jupiter, or even like things that are bigger than Jupiter. But the weird thing is that they are close to their stars, closer to their star than Mercury is to our sun. And this is very unexpected. This is one of those places where testing our current theories about our solar system comes into play. Here we're finding lots of examples of solar systems that are different from ours. And so we've had to start rethinking some of the details of our theories about how solar systems work to account for all these ones that we're seeing that are different from ours. Now, the fact that we're finding the majority of the planets that we find are these weird ones that are large, gaseous ones like Jupiter, but very close to their stars, doesn't necessarily mean that that's what's typical in the universe. It just means that that's what we've been able to find so far. When you start looking at the techniques that we use to find planets, which again I'll cover in some later videos, you'll learn that this is because of how we find planets. We find it easier to find big planets. Big things are easier to find in space than little things. And it also happens to be the case that some of our techniques will be more sensitive to planets that are near their stars. They orbit more quickly, and so we can be sure that what we're seeing really is a planet that's going around and around and around, and not some random thing that happened to get in the way that we might mistake for a planet. And just in case you're interested, you can actually get involved for real in the search for planets. You can find planets yourself, participate in a citizen science project to help the real scientists find planets. This is a real thing. The website here was in part founded by a grad school classmate of mine, Dr. Pamela Gay, who some of you may actually have heard of. She's on the internet and a lot of astronomy stuff and has a podcast about astronomy. And this site, planethunters.org, is a site where you can learn to find planets, and it's really easy to do. If you can see how there's this dip right here and right here and right here and right here, if you can recognize that, you can find a planet. It'll take you 10 minutes to learn how to do, and you can sit there and watch TV and look for planets in your own living room. And so I would definitely encourage you to join. There are perfectly ordinary, average people out there who can claim now that they are discovering planets themselves. And I think that's a pretty cool thing, and I definitely would encourage you to join.